Araaf, what do you primarily do as a grad at Adelaide Brighton Cement, and who do you primarily serve?
I am currently an electrical engineer at Adelaide Brighton Cement. I am 1.5 years into my graduate program, and we serve mainly the construction industry because of our manufacture for cement. And also, our byproducts include some aggregates, which given to some glass manufacturing companies. So we have a variety of customer bases we serve, but mainly it's the construction industry. Before joining Adelaide Brighton Cement, I was studying at the University of Wollongong, and that's in New South Wales. I was studying electrical engineering before joining Adelaide Brighton Cement. I graduated in 2020, and in 2021, I joined the company.
So what got you specifically interested in Adelaide Brighton Cement and their grad program?
Adelaide Brighton Cement has been around in Australia since 1882, and the fact that they are such a major contributor to Australia's growth in development and infrastructure really made me intrigued as to why I should work for them. And I felt like if I join the company, I will have a big impact on the community itself. And I really want to use my skills and talent to have an impact on the community. So that was one of the main reasons why I joined Adelaide Brighton Cement.
Can you give me a high-level walkthrough of the application process to the grad program at Adelaide Brighton Cement?
So initially it starts off with giving your CV and cover letter and your full academic transcripts. If you're successful through that, then they will ask you to attend an online testing, a psychometric testing. After that, they will ask you to come to an assessment center where you will do a team exercise with other future potential graduates. You will have to give a presentation and you'll have to do some other stuff with the graduates. And if you're successful through that, you will have to go to a second interview with your potential future manager. And if that's all good, then they send you the offer. Yeah.
What was probably the hardest part of the application process to the grad program at Adelaide Brighton Cement?
I believe one of the hardest parts of the application process was the psychometric testing itself, the online testing platform, because there's a lot of questions. I believe it's about 1 hour, and you have to solve all these puzzles. You have to quickly use your brain, and it's very exhausting. It's a very exhausting process. It just consumes a lot of brain power. I believe for me, the psychometric testing was the hardest part in the whole application process.
If you can recall, what was probably the hardest or trickiest interview question that you got asked during the grad application process to Adelaide Brighton Cement?
Yes, I believe one of the trickiest questions I was asked was, where do I see myself in 5 years from now on? And it was tricky for me because I was just starting out and I didn't have any idea about any industry really. For me, to ask me where I would be in 5 years, I didn't know. And it would be a very tricky question to respond to. But I did tell them that I would definitely like to see myself becoming a subject matter expert, maybe potentially mentoring other graduates as well in the future. But yeah, that's definitely one of the trickiest interview questions that I was asked.
So then what do you think was probably the number one thing that got you successfully through the grad program application process to Adelaide Brighton Cement?
I believe the number one thing that successfully got me through was just practicing beforehand and researching about the company thoroughly, because you have to know what your potential employer does before you go into an interview, and practicing confidence is key before to create a good impression to your interviewers. So yeah, just practicing different potential questions and knowing what the company does is a great way to be successful, not at just Adelaide Brighton Cement, but at any interview really.
Once you got hired into Adelaide Brighton Cement as a grad, what did your first 2 days, weeks, and generally your onboarding process look like?
So the first 3 days, we were joined by human resources, and we were given an induction and what Adelaide Brighton stands for, our values and our culture. And we got to go onto different sites. We got onto one of our masonry sites. We got to one of our quarries, and the managers and the leaders there were very helpful in giving us a tour. And after that, after the first 3 days, then slowly integrated into my team, which essentially looks after keeping the plant running and being efficient. So yeah, overall it was a good process. The people here are very friendly and they will provide you support if you ask for it.
As a grad at Adelaide Brighton Cement, can you walk me through a day in your life? What does that look like?
Yep, no day is ever the same, but essentially you have to attend to maintaining the plant, making sure that the plant is running efficiently and smoothly. May involve investigating into different machinery, investigating into different processes, different equipment, and discussing with your colleagues or contractors about appropriate solutions to a variety of problems. That is essentially what a day looks like at Adelaide Brighton Cement, yeah.
As a grad at Adelaide Brighton Cement, how much vacation time do you get and how are you going to spend it?
So you do get the standard 20 days off per annum, and I do spend it by just traveling around. I do love to travel a lot, and I spend as much time as I can while I'm on vacation, just travel.
So what is probably your least favorite thing then about working as a grad at Adelaide Brighton Cement?
While Adelaide Brighton does a lot of supportive people, the work culture there is awesome. I do love working there, but one of the cons of working there is that I do have to get up early in the morning. Yeah, just have to show up on site very early and get things done. So I guess that's one of the cons for me personally. I'm not a morning person, but one of the cons that I found was having to wake up early in the morning. Yeah.
What then would be your single best piece of advice for other grads wanting to apply to the grad program at Adelaide Brighton Cement so that they can really ace that application process?
Just practice your body language, practice your answers, and practice what you're going to say in the interview or assessment center, whichever one you get called up for, because that really helps alleviate your nervousness, and it really helps in building up your confidence and knowing what to say instead of having to be put on the spot.
And what is the number one reason why you would actually encourage other grads like yourself to apply to the grad program at Adelaide Brighton Cement?
For me, the number one reason would be there's a lot of great people in here. The work culture is amazing. All the colleagues in here are very supportive and they are willing to help you out and willing to assist you if you need it. Just the work culture, really, it's amazing. And also we have a great emphasis on safety as well. So we always try and ensure that we all try to go back home safe after each day and try and do it again the next day. So yeah, just the whole work culture and the safety culture at this company is the number one reason why I would encourage anyone to come and work for Adelaide Brighton Cement.